Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy DC coming back with another bullseye video here today on the channel. I want to show y'all how to make them vocals lean back, how to get them vocals to sit back into your mix, but also still having the detail to where they're still have a good amount of presence. Okay, so if you do like this video here today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Support the channel by grabbing a mastering preset, cop a mix, a plugin preset, of course, do whatever you want to, but we giving these gems to you for free. Okay, so let's get to it right now. We're gonna listen to the track, then we're gonna come back.
I just tell him thanks and smile. We all have in one road, but no say we now walk alone. No give up easy, just believe me and don't make them try take your soul. We all have to face the truth, but don't let it consume you. So when the pain when you feel it's hard to control, just know life full of pure gold. That's why me pray to the Most High, pray to the Most.
Okay, so the very first thing to do when you're trying to mix, trying to get your vocals to, sit in the mix, always know that there is a time for your vocals to be up forward and there's a time for your vocals to sit back in the mix. That is not every single song where every single vocal needs to sound super present and up front, okay? So just remember that. That's the first thing to always know. You have to use your discernment to know when you need to make your vocals front and when to lean back. So this song has a little bit more of ambient type of vibe where the reverb is wrapping around the vocal. Pray to the Most High. He's speaking about, like the heavens, the sky, angels and stuff like that. So obviously that's a cue to be like, oh, well, this kind of has to sit back a little bit more, kind of being like a bird in a cloud, kind of just being tucked in a little bit more. Okay, so the lyrics and the idea of the song, the message of the song cued me to be like, okay, I got to make this bit sit back a little bit more. First plugin that I love to use to make vocals sit back is a multiband compressor. And as you can see right here, we're using the Mac DSP MC404, as I like the color of this right here. Understand these two things, like the attack time and the release time. The faster the release that you have, that will usually clamp down onto the vocal a little bit more and kind of keep it stable, pushing it back into the mix. And with the release time, the slower release time that you have will hold the vocal back as well.
I just tell him thanks and smile. We all have in one road, but no say we now walk alone. No give up easy, just believe me and don't make them try take your soul. We all have to face the truth, but don't let it consume you. So when the pain when you feel it's hard to control, just know life full of pure gold. That's why me pray to the Most High, pray to the Most High. I pray to the Most High.
So you see these two both having the same exact threshold is kind of serving almost like a gate. It's almost serving like a restraining order for certain parts of the vocal, which is the low mid and the actual mid range itself, pretty much the high mid, these two bands right here. These two things are serving as a restraining order to not let these parts of the vocal really push up, and that's where the energy of the vocal is. When you want your vocal to sound forward, you would usually work on the upper mid and try to enhance that through EQ or saturation to get those things to make the vocal feel like they're forward. But when you want them to sit back, use something like a multiband compressor to just really hold them and keep them there, and a combination of the slower release. Now the release you're gonna have to play around with, but a faster release makes the vocal spring up a little bit forward, which is going to make it sound forward. All right, so that's one of the techniques I like to use. Another technique that I like to use as well is to take off the transients a little bit in the vocal. This will make the vocal sit back, like using the spiff. And when you use the spiff, you use the remove mouth clicks preset. I call it MixLikeNix, and I just take off some transients in the vocal.
I just tell him thanks and smile. We all have in one road, but no say we now walk alone. Just you. But one thing when me sure about Lado, it's a process. In a life you have to smile and be grateful, and don't watch what other people are do. It's a process everybody I go through, so don't feel like it's only just you. But one thing when me sure about, with God in your life you will make it out. So when you look up to the sky, just tell him thanks and smile. We all have in one road, but no say we now walk alone.
So just to overemphasize it right here, those transients in that upper mid range, because we understand how important the upper mid range is, right? Like how we on the multiband, we're taking away the solidity in that range. So because we're removing some of that solidity in the upper mid range, that's gonna push our vocals back. I do love using the spiff on the cut mode, and you see like over here, I'm aggressively removing those transients in that vocal. And because I've done that, you know, now that gives the perception of distance. Imagine a shoe, a steel-toed boot. You feel me? Where clap, 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 clap. The louder the knock of a shoe has on the ground, it kind of tells your body, hey, somebody's close to me, somebody's around me. But the farther that somebody walks away, the clicking of that shoe on the ground, it starts to become quieter. That transient becomes quieter. So then you perceive it as more distance. So you can use that concept to know that, hey, man, if I fucking knock off a couple of the transients in that goddamn high end, that's going to push my vocal back, because sometimes it's easy to make your vocal sound too forward, okay? Everybody wants forward vocals, but not every song needs that, all right? So another great idea, too, is sometimes you just got to turn up your fucking 2-track beat, too, man.
In a life you have to smile and be grateful to other people I do.
So a lot of people, at times, people forget, man, like gain staging, though, the level, the volume that you have your beat and your vocal at. So sometimes if I want to get my vocal to get pushed back, first thing I'll do is I'll just go to my master fader and see like how much am I limiting, because the mixes are like 90% of the way there, 95%. I'm like, oh, I'm not even limiting that much. You feel me? I still got a little bit more room to go. You feel me? I can still hit this bitch about 1 to 2. That's when I will go in there and turn my 2-track beat up even louder, right? And because my 2-track beat is louder, it's going to automatically kind of just push the vocal back. Now, in terms of the limiting, something that people always forget is that when you squeeze that grape, sometimes seeds might come out of the grape. When you squeeze your mix, sometimes the more you limit your mix, it pushes the mid-range out even more, right? So that will, sometimes if your mix is limited too much, you will notice that your vocal will be a little bit too loud. So sometimes what you have to do is, maybe you're like, you see that you're doing too much limiting and you want your vocal to sit back because it's too loud. Sometimes just pull back the limiter and you will be like, what the fuck? Like my vocal, the mix is lower, but the vocal, the ratio between the beat and the vocal is now changed, all right? So that's another very important thing to always remember by, you know, the way you're limiting your actual mix will play into that.
And don't watch what other people are do. It's a process everybody I go through. So don't feel like it's only just you. But one thing when me sure about, with God in your life, you make it out. So when you look up to the sky, just tell him thanks and smile. We all have been one road, but no say we now walk alone. No give up easy, just believe me and don't make them try take your soul. We all have to face the truth, but don't let it cancel.
All right, another technique to get your vocals to sit back too is you could use like this plugin, which is the only one I would recommend because it sounds so good. Is you would use like a mid-side EQ on your master fader, right? To get your vocals to sit back. And because usually the vocals are in the mid channel. I mean, like, look at my vocal here. You see how my panning is set up? It's like my vocal is really actually genuinely centered. What I would do is I would go on a mid-side EQ like BX3 and I would just start boosting the sides, because the sides, and I would only do it very slightly, right? Because the sides are where the beat information is at, where the melody is at and all that stuff like that. The notes, the piano, that's where all that information is usually on the sides. So by boosting the sides, in comparison, you would kind of make your vocal a little bit, you know, more sit back.
Be smile and be grateful, and don't watch what other people are do. It's a it's only just you. But let me show about, with God in your life, you make it out. So when you look to the sky, just tell him thanks and smile. We all one. No give up easy, just believe me and don't make them try take your soul. We are face the truth, but don't let it consume you. So when the pain when you feel it's hard to control, just know life full of pure gold. That's why me pray to the Most High, pray to the Most High. Me pray to the Most High, Pray to the Most High. Even though it's hard, we still have to try. Even it's not your eye. Pray to the Most High and don't let them take your life. Life is a puzzle.
So you pretty much see that making the sides a little bit wider using something like a shelf, which is what I prefer because it sounds more musical. In comparison, it kind of syncs the mid channel. That's why this is a great plugin, the mid and the side channel. And because the mid channel sounds a little bit more quieter in comparison, now that brings a lot more ability for the vocal to sit back a little bit more naturally inside of the mix. All right. And the last thing that I want to talk about, a gem that I love to use to get my vocals to sit back a lot more is I will use something like a flanger. You feel me? I'll use like a basic flanger, keep my rate really low and tuck that bitch in.
In a life you have to smile and be grateful, and don't watch what other people are do. It's a process everybody I go through, so don't feel like it's only just you. But one thing when me sure about, with God in your life you will make it done. So when you look up to the sky, just tell him thanks and smile. We all have in one road, but no say we now walk alone. No give up easy, just believe me and don't make them try.
So those that's another great thing that will help a vocal sit back in the mix better, because what it does is it creates like a hazy type of thing, like when you play Black Ops and somebody throws a smoke grenade or something like that. It's like a blurry mirror, like a dirty pair of glasses or a dirty iPhone that needs to be wiped off, where by adding a little bit of flanger, chorus, or phaser, you have to play with it yourself and blending it in that like 15 to 10 range. It kind of just helps the vocal sit back, because now the vocal isn't as crystal clear. Now the mid range is kind of like, maybe it's got a little bit of distortion, from the sound of the thing, and it's just a little bit more of a haziness, right? So that in itself sits the vocal back even more, helping the vocal be exactly where it needs to be in the mix, whether it's either forward or back. Okay, so this is pretty much the end of the video here today. I want to say thank you very much for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to subscribe to the page, and next to the subscribe button, join the channel membership where you can see exclusive videos nobody else has seen. And in the links down below, go ahead and grab a mastering preset, a course, book a mix if you want your tracks to sound great in pro, or even, do whatever the hell you want and just comment. I appreciate it regardless, and we're going to keep giving out these gems. All right, so I appreciate y'all now, my YouTube gang. See y'all next time. Peace.